everyone, Mitch coming in from the Command Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, wait, this is legal now in Commander? What is going on? What is the change? What does it matter to you? And what are the implications? Well, let's jump into it. So apparently when Edge of Eternities comes out and is legal, and I believe it's the end of July, but correct me if I'm wrong on that, there is going to be a rules change which people are already prepping for, that spacecraft like this one, as well as vehicles, if they are legendary, they are eligible to be commanders as well. Basically, hey, that vehicle looks really cool. Yeah, I can build a deck around it. Oh, or that spacecraft, which is a flying vehicle. It's still a vehicle, though, right? Like, isn't it technically? But it just would be, like, less impactful if you just called it a vehicle, I guess, even though we already kind of have spacecraft that's vehicles. Yeah, here you go. So, basically, now we can have, 21 plus this, 22 new commanders to build around, plus all the ones in the future that we're going to be getting as well. Of course, Edge of Eternities is going to have more spacecraft, I am sure, than just the Sarima. Is that how you say that? Sarima? Whatever it is. And then there's going to be plenty more vehicles in the future of the legendary as well. So other than, that one giant 8-8 vehicle that is a massive draw engine, Shorkai, Genesis engine, we have a lot of other options. Now, if you do want to build a vehicle commander deck, or a deck that is built with a vehicle commander, I should say, because you don't have to just build like, okay, it's all vehicles because it's a vehicle. No. You can do some pretty crazy things with some of these. On this episode, we're going to quickly go through this one as well as the other ones, and let's jump into it. A 5/5, eventually, spacecraft for 5 mana, 3 mana, and white. There we go. When this enters, search life for a legendary creature card, reveal, open your hand, then shuffle. And it's got Station, which is a brand new mechanic. Tap another creature you control, put charge counters on this one equal to its power on this creative spacecraft. Station only is a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 7 plus charge counters power. Cool, anyways. Flying, other tap legendary creature you control have indestructible, and that is only once it's at that 7 with the, charge counters on it, essentially. So, basically, get legendary creatures out, get them to, crew this in a way, station it in a way, because it's a space station. You don't crew a space station, right? You station a station. And all of a sudden, you get this to become a 5/5, which is great with flying. And also, it gives your legendary creatures indestructible if they are tapped. So, yeah, this can be a really cool commander where you can definitely utilize a lot of tap effects on other legendary creatures. Make sure you are being impactful with those. And, of course, protect them. It's kind of like a mini Avacyn in a way because it protects all your other legendary creatures. Only when they're tapped, though. It doesn't protect itself. But if you've got ways to protect this, too, you can definitely be very impactful with it. Interesting as well. The charge counters, you can proliferate if you want with that too, but yeah, it's not really all that difficult to obviously get 7 total power and tapping to actually station this to get that effect and to make it a 5/5. A 5/5 evasive creature for this 3 mana, that's quite nice as well. A lot of potential for this one, but now let's jump into all the legendary vehicles that you can also build around right now. First up, the Last Ride is the first vehicle. Ironically, we're going to be talking about a 13/13 vehicle for a single black mana. And if that was it, well, this would probably get banned. But it is because it'd be a 2-shot KO, right away. Like, okay, turn 1, I play my commander. Turn 2, swing. Turn 3, swing. You're gone. Next up. Yeah, no. It gets -X, -X, where X is your life total. So if you were to play this on turn 1, it would automatically probably just go away. And then you can pay 2 and a black and pay 2 life to draw a card, and it's got crew too. Basically, it's kind of like Death Shadow equals a vehicle in a way, which is pretty cool. It can definitely be a good draw engine for you. But yeah, you're going to have to utilize some life-changing synergies, some mischievous poltergeist type cards, life-setting cards. You're like, okay, I intentionally lose 35 life or whatever, basically to go down to almost nothing to turn this into a near one-shot KO commander. One shot if you've got double strike or something like that with it. Yeah, it can be risky. It can be fun. You can also do a life swap strategy with it too, just as a backup plan to be like, okay, I'm down to 1 life. I swing. I take you out. Awesome. But also, now all of a sudden I'm going to be like, I need, swap life with you because I'm in 1 life and I'd like to not be. So you're at 40, right? Let's switch lives. No! Yeah, that can be quite fun. Moving on, Bessie the Doctor's Roadster can now be your commander. If you always wanted your commander to be this old car, you got it. A 3/4 ledger artifact vehicle that costs 2 mana, and it's got haste. It says whenever it attacks the target ledger creature can be blocked this turn. It's got crew 2. Will this one become a popular commander? I don't think so, but I could be very wrong on that. I mean, yeah, you could definitely build around other legendary creatures and make them evasive. Although, keep in mind, obviously, a lot of vehicles, the vast majority are a single color or colorless. I think there's only 2 vehicles right now that are 2 colors. The new ones. Shorokai doesn't count in this, okay? That actually essentially give you more than 1 color. So there's only so many legendary creatures, obviously, in colorless that you're making evasive. Though, obviously, making some Eldrazi evasive can be quite nice. So, yeah, Bessie, the Doctor's Roadster, could be quite fun. And actually, it's quite funny to picture if you're like, okay, I need to crew it, but all I have is this giant Eldrazi to crew it to make my other Eldrazi unblockable. Okay, so you just have, like, Ulamog, get in that old car. Okay, cool. Magic makes sense. Next up, Heart of Kyrian, a 4/4 vehicle that kind of looks like a spacecraft. Flying Vigilance, crew 3 that costs 2 mana. You may remove a loyalty counter from a planeswalker you control rather than pay its crew cost. Yeah, this is one where it's just kind of like, when it comes to like the build around ones, like this just being like a straight up vehicle, like looter scooter style kind of, like, there's not really too much to build around. It's just like, okay, do you want a 4/4 Flying Vigilant commander for 2 mana? Cool. Awesome. Yeah. If not, there's other ones that are more exciting to build around. So, yeah, there you go. Nothing against Heart of Kyrian. I'm sorry. Nothing against Heart of Kyrian. But also, yeah, there's not really planeswalkers in colorless, too. So, I mean, there's like a couple, but very few. So, yeah. Yeah, have fun with Karn, I guess. Let's move onward and upward with Weatherlight completed. That's right, Evil Weatherlight. A 5/5 vehicle with flying for 2 mana. It's got 4 more Restless counters on it. Then it's a Phyrexian creature to other types. Whenever creature control dies, put a Phyrexian counter on it. Then draw a card if it's got 7 or more on it. If it doesn't, scry 1. This one, I think, could actually be a very cool build around. This one is basically like an Aristocrat's engine out of the command zone, where, yeah, you are kind of getting one of those 3 key pieces that I like to say in Aristocrats. You have basically the free sacrifice outlet. This is not. The creature fodder. This is not. The payoff. This is. Because this one does say, again, whenever any creature you control dies, it doesn't matter if it's token or non-token, you are getting that benefit, and you are getting those counters on this. And you get to draw cards if it got 7 or more, and if not, you're scrying 1, so that's still nice. But yeah, you're either getting card selection or card advantage, an amazing card advantage at some point. Yeah, so being able to just go, okay, I'm going to get a lot of things out to make a bunch of like creature tokens or whatnot go wide, and then have free sacrifice outlets out there to sacrifice them. There's only so many colors, but there are those out there, of course, some really expensive ones too. But yeah, being able to go, okay, I sacrifice those, I draw a ton of cards. What's not to love about that? And also, eventually, it's going to be a 5/5 flyer. So yeah, get some double strike on it, start hitting, and maybe some pump effects and start swinging. Have fun. Here we go, though. We are taking to the seas with adresia. And my apologies, I didn't play Assassin's Creed, so I don't know how to say the words. 4/3 vehicle with Island Walk for 3 mana. When it attacks, if it is crewed this turn, it draws a card, and it comes in assassin to this other type self turn. That makes complete sense that my boat is an assassin. Crew 1, magic. Yeah. Yeah, oh, I guess it's an assassin. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an assassin boat. Okay. There's probably not only so many assassins that are in colorless, but, yeah, it's a boat. I don't know what to say about this one because it's really not that interesting a build around in my opinion. It's like, okay, sometimes it's unblockable, and sometimes you get a draw. Have fun building around it. Yay. Okay, here we go. So this is the kind of boat that players are going to build around, the Jackdaw. We've got a 4/4 Ledge Artifact vehicle for 3 mana, and is it one of the only vehicles, again, that is currently 2 different colors, essentially. So yeah, we got Shorokai, this, and one other. When this deals combat damage to a player, well, the only legendary, I should say, deals combat damage to a player, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw a card for each artifact you control. My goodness. Crew 3. So yeah, of course, there are so many different ways these days to make an absurd amount of artifacts. Of course, it doesn't specify non-token artifact. If it did, it'd be a lot worse. Because now you can go, okay, I make a bunch of clues, I make a bunch of treasures, I make a bunch of this, I make a bunch of that. Oh, I've got all these things in play, servos, thopters, all the things. And all I gotta do is get this through, hit a player, yeah, I'll say goodbye-bye to my hand. Okay, sorry, 4 cards or whatever I had. All right, I'm drawing 20 cards. Ha 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 ha. Also, by the way, I probably have ways to maybe give this double strike. I've got ways to actually get extra combats. I've got ways to probably draw my entire deck with this, basically. yeah, it's pretty fun once you get things set up with this one. Obviously, you need to give it some evasion, and you got to be careful with not drawing too many cards, but yeah, at a certain point, you can just flood the board with a ton of artifacts and go, okay, let's hit. Yay, draw a ton. And then maybe like Psychosis Crawler victory, or yeah, Seismic Assault kind of victory, essentially, too. Have fun. Moving on, a commander that was not a commander, but now is going to be a commander in very short order, essentially. The Falcon Airship Restored, again, just came out. Literally just came out. It's like, well, okay, the Final Fantasy set had this number of commanders. Okay, but now we're going to add a couple because basically now these are legal afterwards. A 4/3 vehicle with flying for 3 mana in black. I wonder why like they decided like this change has to happen with Edge of Eternities. It's like, if you knew the change was coming anyways, couldn't you just been like, hey, yeah, Final Fantasy has like some legendary artifact vehicles in it. They're going to be legal commanders. And then also Edge of Eternity is coming out is going to have that as well. Did you like just make that decision where you're like, you know what? We're not gonna pull the trigger on this until Edge of Eternities. But you know, we're not positive yet. We're not positive. Now you have this decision made. You probably could have already done this, but I don't know. Anyways, I don't know why I'm arguing about it. It doesn't really matter all that much. But the Falcon, you can build around this if you want to. 4/3 vehicle with flying for 3 mana in black. Whenever deals counters your player, you may sacrifice it. Oh no, my commander. Oh no. When you do, return target creature card for your graveyard to the battlefield by paying 5 mana in total. Return for your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Crew 2. So this is one where, well, I mean, it might not seem like it, but you can probably do some pretty disgusting things with it. Anytime you can freely bring something back out of your graveyard, I mean, you got to pay for it, but like, there isn't like an excessive cost to it, right? It is 5 mana. That is a good amount of mana, yes. But of course, we've got ways to take advantage of that, ways to make that cost less to actually activate essentially out of the graveyard, ways to get mana from sacrificing it or whatnot. And ways to actually get other creatures out of the graveyard. So yeah, basically being able to say, hey, you know what? You could probably do some pretty disgusting things with this, I am sure. At the very least, just being like, okay, I play this, I crew, I swing, I had entombed a massive creature into my graveyard, like a giant Eldrazi, like It That Betrays or something like that. It's in my graveyard, and then I just like turn 4, you know, get it out. Yeah, that can be quite fun. But of course, obviously, like, maybe some infinite shenanigans with bringing this back out of the graveyard again, like reassembling skeleton style kind of in a way, but obviously for more mana. Yeah, you can get set up properly with this one. Interesting. But of course, cats in cars. Not a car, but a chariot. Anyways, 4/4, ledger artifact vehicle for 4 mana in green. Enters, create 2/2 cat creature tokens. Whenever attacks create tokens, copy target token you control, crew 4. This is a very interesting build around where, again, if you start to get out some absolutely massively impactful tokens, this attacking, doubling them up can be huge. I mean, I'm thinking about, like, you know, like, hey, you know, whatever that Ulamog's Dreadsire makes 10/10s, essentially. That other one that's, like, when it comes to play, makes a 10/10. Anything that makes just, like, a massive token, you're like, okay, I've got that. All right, attack. I get another one of that. Yay. Yeah, I mean, of course, you can, like, make more cats, but I'd rather have some 10/10s. No offense, cats. So, yeah, this stuff could be an interesting build around as well. Speaking of interesting build-arounds, though, Golden Argoi, a 3/6 vehicle for 4 mana. Attacks, exile each creature that crewed at this turn. Return to the battlefield, tapped, others control, begin next end step, and it's got crew 1. This is basically a repeat mass blink effect, essentially, that keeps happening again and again and again. So yeah, basically just get a bunch of creatures out that have some ETBs, essentially, and go, okay, cool. Sad Robot, get in that ship. And Sad Robot's like, I don't want to get in the ship. I'm sad. Sad Robot, get in that ship right now. And then all of a sudden, you just keep getting those ETBs again and again and again. Obviously, you need some evasion for this. I mean, early on, probably not because it's got enough toughness. But yeah, some evasion eventually would be great. Keep blanking those and keep getting those ETBs. Or how about something completely different with Grond the Great Gatebreaker, if I could say it. Grond the Gatebreaker. There we go. Not Grond the Gatebreaker would be really awesome too. But still, a 5/5 vehicle trample for 4 mana in black. As long as it's your turn, you control an army. Grond the Gatebreaker is an artifact creature. Crew 3. So, cool. I guess the question you gotta ask yourself is, do you want a 5/5 in the command zone? That is trample for 4 mana. Probably not. Let's move on. Next up, again, the question we are asking is, will, you know, wizards, I guess, go back and errata certain vehicles to become spaceships or whatnot, because spacecraft, because this is in space. Yeah. A 7/1 vehicle with Flample for 4 mana in red. When it deals counter to a player, sacrifice, create that main treasure token. It's got crew 3. This one I could see becoming a pretty popular vehicle commander, or again, spacecraft commander. It's you know, somewhere in between, basically. But yeah, being able to just go toot toot Titanic to someone's face and then making an absurd amount of treasure tokens. Yeah, that could be quite fun. Of course, again, you do have to sacrifice it, but like, yeah, there's ways, not necessarily really around that in red. Like, you don't have like the feigned death type effects really all that much, but you do have ways to essentially go, you know what? Let's hit with double strike. Let's add some more power. Let's one-shot a player and make 21 treasures, kind of. Yeah, that could be quite fun. So yeah, being able to just do that, make an absurd amount of treasures, and win from there, yeah, you can definitely utilize this in some pretty cool ways. And now we get to our second two-color vehicle commander, outside of, again, Shurikai, which does not count because already commander, but now that text at the bottom of Shurikai does not really matter at all. A 5/5 vehicle for 4 mana, and is it when it attacks, create treasure token. Until end of turn, you may look at the top card of your library. Anytime you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Crew 3. Basically, this is like a future sight out of the command zone, which is quite nice, and also with treasures, but you do have to attack to get that effect. So, I mean, yeah, you are setting your commander into danger. That being said, of course, with some ways to give it some evasion, which are plenty of ways in these colors, do so, swing, basically a future sight of the command zone, utilize the cards off the top of your library on your turn. That can be quite fun, quite powerful, and yeah, just really cool, you know, hey, look, this ship helps me with cards. Your opponents are like, that makes sense. Magic, yes. Another one that I could see being pretty popular, though, is the Indomitable. What a name. A 6/6 vehicle with trample for 4 mana in blue. It's got crew 3, and it says, whenever a creature you control deals combat to a player, draw a card. You may cast the Indomitable from your graveyard as long as you control 3 or more tap pirates on our vehicles. Yeah, this one is quite spicy. Again, basically like a coastal piracy out of the command zone, essentially, in a way. Just going, okay, cool, yeah, draw just a ton of cards by having a bunch of base creatures. You could definitely do like a flying men type strategy with this one, absolutely. Even if you're not planning on crewing it, really. That being said, being able to just replay this out of your graveyard can also be quite nice. You just have to have 3 tapped pirates or vehicles. If you do, I'm sure there are some weird loops, again, that you can get into, you know, by being able to just cast things out of your graveyard for free. Casting this out of your graveyard for free, I should say. Some pretty cool ones. Have fun with that. A newer one, though, from Final Fantasy, we've got the Lunar Whale, a 3/5 ledger artifact vehicle for 4 mana in blue with flying. Ironically, again, in Magic, whales have flying a lot of the time for some reason anyways, so this, you know, vehicle whale that has flying makes sense that it has flying. Okay. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Cool. As long as it attack this turn and play the top card of your library, it's got crew 1. So yeah, this is actually very, very similar to the Belligerent in a way, essentially. But yeah, being able to just play, I mean, that is like, you know, play lands, cast spells. I don't know why the Belligerent actually specified that, because like play the top card of your library means either play lands, play spells, basically. So yeah, being able to just go off the top of your library, yeah, low to the ground crew cost for this one. Yeah, it could be quite fun. Basically, again, future sight out of the command zone for your turn. Do you want a sports car? Do you want a convertible? Now you can have one as your commander for the low cost of just 65 cents. I mean, just for the commander itself. The rest of the deck probably costs a little more than just 65 cents in total. 4/4 vehicle with haste for 4 mana in colorless. When it attacks, reveal card to the top of your library to reveal a land card. Put that land on the battlefield tap. With the rest of your library in random order, it's got crew 1. So, this one is, I mean, pretty interesting when it comes to it being a commander. It's going to ramp you every single time you attack, obviously. But, of course, because it doesn't specify, like, reveal a basic land card or something like that, you can hit some absolutely absurd lands, obviously. Now, when it comes to, like, alright, how tutorable you're going to be able to make those? I mean, you still have to build lands into your deck, most likely, so you're not just like, okay, I've got a deck with just 2 lands, and I guarantee to hit them. It's like, okay, well, you need a lot of other ways to just get this out then, sure. Yeah, there could be some really weird, like, offshoot decks that are like 2 land decks with this one and a bunch of other just miscellaneous sources, but probably not because you're in colorless as well. Most likely this is just like, okay, ramp commander. There's only so many landfall triggers too. It's interesting for sure. We'll have to see what people do with it. Non-evil Weatherlight is here. OG Weatherlight, some might say. A 4/5 vehicle with flying for 4 mana. Deals combination player, look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal a historic card from among them in your hand. Rest bomb your library in a random order. Artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. You're not probably building sagas with this, obviously, because you're in colorless. That being said, yeah, artifact, tribal, no, not tribal, but legendary tribal, artifacts, just deck in general. yeah, you can definitely get a lot of value out of this one. Again, it is evasive, not hitting really all that hard, but still some nice, if you get double strike to it as well, some nice additional, card selection, card advantage from this. Big city on a big ship, Sky Sovereign, console flagship, a 6/5 vehicle, which again has like a, I don't know, maybe a city, but like a town at least on top of it for 5 mana. It's got flying. It says enters the battlefield or attacks 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker opponent controls. It's got crew 3. I basically picture that as like, it's like parking. It's like, doot, doot, and then it like backs up into someone else's creature and just like knocks it over. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. 3 damage to you. My bad. But yeah, on ETB or attack, there's only so many ways to utilize that ETB and colorless. Obviously, there's only so many blink effects. But yeah, there's some ways to do it. But yeah, being a little lightning bolt things, that's quite fun on attack as well. Yeah, it's probably not one of the most popular ones of these, but still kind of cool. Next up, we've got the Prima Vista, 5/3 vehicle with flying for 5 mana in blue. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana spent to cast it, the Prima Vista becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. It's got crew 2. I mean, that's kind of nice that you can, like, switch this into, like, creature mode without actually having to, crew it up. But, yeah, it's still a 5/3 flyer for 5 mana. So, like, would you just build around a 5/3 flyer for 5 mana? Probably not. So I'm going to say this one probably won't be the most popular, but, yeah, excited to see your builds. Have fun. Moving on, the Pride Win. I think that's how you say that. Steel flagship. Cool. 6/6 vehicle flying for 6 mana in white. Whenever another non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white humanite creature token with. This creature gets +2/+2 as long as an artifact enters the battlefield under your control this turn, and it's got crew 2. So yeah, basically, hey, make a bunch of non-token artifacts, essentially. Get a lot of those in play, and then you're making a bunch of knights that get a lot of, pump as well, which can be quite nice. Yeah, I mean, utilizing some, artifacts that maybe have some bounce effects, or maybe some artifacts essentially that can, like, recur from your graveyard as well could be a way to go with this one. This could be a very interesting build in, like, a go-wide artifact synergies deck. It could be quite fun. Have fun. Okay, who named this one, like, Valor's flagship? I'm not saying, like, at Wizards, but, like, if you have, like, a car and you're like, this is Valor's car. Cool. Valor, yeah. Yeah, a little pompous. 7/7 vehicle for 7 mana in white. Flying first strike, lifelink, crew 3. So that's hitting quite hard and doing a lot of things. Cycling for X2 in a white, though. When you cycle it away, you make X1/1 pilots, and they can, crew things better. Here's the thing. With that as a commander, you can't cycle it out of the command zone. So, like, you're not really going to build around that. You're not going to necessarily build around, okay, here's the plan. I get my commander out. I bounce my commander back to my hand. I cycle my commander away and make some pilots. Very efficient strategy. Watch this. Now I replay my commander for 9 mana out of the command zone. Cool. And then I can utilize those pilots, and I've already lost the game because that took far too long. Yeah, there are definitely some commanders where I have built decks before, like with a Myojin, where you're like, okay, play, bounce, and then play again, and then do some crazy things. This isn't one of them. That being said, just a 7/7 flying first strike, lifelink, crew 3 out of the command zone. Yeah, some players might build around that for fun. It's got enough going on right there. So, yeah, just don't forget that you can't cycle out of the command zone, okay? At some point, probably, like, right, we have, like, ninjutsu out of the command zone, like, commander ninjutsu. Now we're going to have commander cycling. You're going to cycle out of the command zone, which Wizards, maybe. Yeah, maybe they'll do it at some point. We'll see. And finally, and probably one of the very first vehicles players, probably came to mind when this rule change happened was Parhelion to be like, that'd be fun. Yeah, it would be. 5/5 vehicle for 8 mana in white. Yeah, you're going to need a lot of ramp, a lot of mana rocks to get this one out. Flying first strike, vigilance. Whenever it attacks, though, you get 2 4/4 white angel tokens with flying and vigilance that are attacking through 4. So basically, keep building up a giant army of angels that are already swinging. Every single turn you attack, make a larger and larger and larger army. And again, everything is vigilant too, so like you're not tapped, you just stay back on defense as well, which is quite nice. And only one of those angels can, like, you need to crew this, which is great. So yeah, just get it out, swing, have fun. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on this one. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.